Ah, okay. Here we go. Okay. Here we go. Okay. All right. All right. Good people. Good people. It's Friday. You made it to the weekend almost. After your lunch break, your day almost over after the lunch break. So that's almost the end. After the lunch break, everything's all good after the lunch break. Do me a favor as you coming in. Like, subscribe, comment. Just say hello in the comments. Like, subscribe, comment, share. Um, would definitely appreciate it. Would definitely appreciate it. We're gonna go and get started. I don't want to take up too much of y'all's lunch break, but definitely want to give some lunch lessons. It's Friday for all of you who just now checking in with us. We are live on Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube. Okay, so you can check us out at any of those platforms. Um, every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, I'm coming to you at noon for some lunch lessons. Uh, and sometimes the lessons for some people they might just be reminders. It might not be new information for you. It might just be a reminder. Might just be something that I knew that. You ever had those moments where you're like, I knew that. I knew that. I'm glad you said that. So sometimes that's what the lunch lessons are. But ultimately, we're building systems for success. And so, what this series of lunch lessons has been about are the systems that, regardless of what your infrastructure is, regardless of what industry you work in, regardless of what your goals are, whether they're personal, interpersonal, professional, um, physical goals, whatever the case may be, you need a system and you need systems in order to make that work. And the truth of the matter is, many of us have the false uh, or have developed a misconception. And we think that we need more stuff. We think that we need another investor. We think that we need a better idea. We think that we need a better building. We think that we need better cameras. We think that we need all of this stuff, right? Many of us think we need all of this stuff to get started. But the reality is, in order to get started, you don't have to have any more. You got enough stuff. You got enough stuff. What you need is a system. You need some systems in place. And so, this series of lunch lessons are for us to discuss some systems that, regardless of what you're trying to accomplish, regardless of what it is that you're trying to succeed at, these systems apply across the board. And so, technically, there are 6 systems, but I combined the topic we're going to talk about today is a combined one. So, technically, there's 6, but we list them as 5, right? And they're in no particular order. Okay, no particular order. But the systems are you need an accountability system. You need a system that holds you accountable. I know I hold myself accountable. Okay, cool. But what happens on the days when you don't feel like it? What happens on the days when you're tired? What happens on the days where you just feel like this is not working? What happens on those days? You need an accountability system because you need a system that keeps you going. Because if you don't have an accountability system, you'll only do the things that you want to do and not necessarily the things that you need to do. So you got to have an accountability system. Another system that you have to have is you need to have a work system. You need to have a system that you use that keeps you from or that keeps prevents things from slipping through the cracks. Okay, we've all had those days where we had so much stuff to do that some stuff slipped through the cracks, and that happens. The problem is if that's happening consistently, then you probably need to redevelop your work system. Or if it seems like you're on a treadmill, if it seems like you're on a treadmill and like no matter how much work I do, it seems like I'm never progressing, I'm never going anywhere, you probably need a work system because that will not only help you to get things done, but it'll also assist in you being able to measure your progress and to be able to see the things that are working or not working or what adjustments may need to be made or anything like that. So you need a work system. So we got accountability system, work system. You need a personal development system. What do you have in place that is intentional that helps you to be better? Okay, what do you have in place that's intentional that helps you to improve, that helps you to be better than you were yesterday? Do you have a list of things that you need to read? Do you have a list of podcasts that you listen to? Do you push yourself? Do you look at the goals that you had last quarter and you raise those goals next quarter? Do you look at what you did or didn't accomplish last year and readjust that for this year? What do you have in place that makes you better? We need to be intentional. If you're going to be successful anyway, you have to be intentional about improving. Okay. You need to be intentional about improving. So you need that personal development system. And for many of us, myself included, right? So I'm Coach Jay to some people. Some people know me as Coach Jay. I'm life coach, systems for success, Coach Jay's playbook, all that good stuff. But there are a lot of people who know me as Pastor Jay, right? I'm their spiritual counselor. I'm their spiritual guide and things like that. And so a part of my personal development system is a spiritual development system, right? And so we need those systems that help us to be better, regardless of what your goals are, regardless of what your industry is, regardless of where you work, regardless of your educational background. None of that really matters. You need a system if you're going to be successful that helps you to be better than you were. So we got accountability system, we got work system, we got accountability system, work system, personal development system. Today, we're going to discuss a combined system. And then on Monday, we'll talk about one that all of us could probably use a little bit of help in. And again, even if you're good, you could always be better. Monday, we're going to talk about having a financial system, right? Knowing where your money's going, knowing where it comes from, knowing having a plan for it. We're going to talk about that on Monday. Today, we're going to talk about relational / support systems. And here's what I do. I combine these systems because they're so similar. I combine them because they're so similar. And you'll understand why I say that as we further in our discussion. Let me check the time. I don't want to take your whole lunch break. Okay. So the support / relational systems are super important to have. Now, let me give you this disclaimer. If you've listened to any of the lunch lessons, what you know is what? I'm not telling you how to develop your system in these lunch lessons. These lunch lessons are just to give you a perspective as to why these systems are important and why it's detrimental if you don't have them. If you want help or want to learn how to actually develop these systems, we're going to do that offline. We're not going to do that in front of everybody. We'll do that offline. So just contact me and I'll give you the details on that. But support / relational systems, y'all, let me tell you why this is important. Because many of us, there's a recent term that's been thrown out, especially in the social media realm and the sociology realm. And that term is intersectionality, right? And a lot of times we only look at intersectionality as it pertains to how these intersections of life may prevent us from being able to accomplish a certain thing. I don't even want to think like that. I want us to say, okay, yes, I'm more than one thing. How can I navigate this and even use it to my advantage? This is what I mean. I told y'all just a few seconds ago that some people know me as Coach Jay, the life coach, Coach Jay's playbook, Systems for Success. And I love y'all. I appreciate the support that y'all have given in that space. I told you that some people know me as Pastor Jay, right? They know me as the pastor, the preacher, the minister, the teacher, right? Some people know me as Bo, right? And that's perfectly fine. But what you're hearing is that I'm not just one thing. I'm a pastor. I'm a life coach. I'm a father. I'm an advisor. I'm a consultant. I'm a husband. I'm a brother. I'm a son. I'm all of these things, right? And so it's so important that I recognize all of these things are happening in my life and that I have to be all of these things simultaneously. So one question that I get very, very often, whether it's in the coaching space or whether it's in the spiritual space, is how do I balance it all? And let me give you a trick to the trade. Let me give you the secret. Let me give you the G14 classified. I'm going to tell you like this. Some of y'all are not going to be able to accept it. You're not going to want to accept it. But here's the truth. There is no such thing as balance. There's no such thing as balance. You're not going to be able to balance everything because the idea of balance is that all things are treated equally at all times. And that's just not a reality. What you're going to have to do is understand that in some spaces and in some points in time, I have to be one thing or another. So how do I navigate that? Let me give you some examples. If you don't have your support system lined up, here's what will happen. You will have opportunities to meet people. You will have opportunities to fellowship with people. You will have opportunities to network with people, and you'll miss these opportunities for something simple. I don't got a babysitter. Because I'm not only a coach, I'm not only a pastor, but I'm also a father. So who's gonna watch the babies while me and my wife go to this mixer? Who's gonna watch the babies while me and my wife attend? What happens if something happens? The kids are on break from school. My wife's at work. I got a meeting to go to. How am I able to do that? I gotta have a support system. Okay. Or think about it like this. Do you have a support system? Do you have an individual or a group of individuals that support you? And even when you're unsure of yourself, when you're unsure of an idea, do you have someone or a group of persons around you that will encourage you correctly? Understand, I said encourage you correctly because sometimes you need somebody to tell you, yeah, this ain't really a good idea. But there are certain times where your biggest critic is you, and all you need is a little encouragement. You need a support system. And then that ties in very strongly with relational systems, y'all, because you got to understand that your relationships got to be tight. You have to be intentional with your relational systems because your relational systems allow you to intentionally cultivate new relationships and develop existing relationships. There are times where relationships can get you a lot further than money. There are times where relationships can get you a lot further than like your influence can get you a lot further than your financial status. Your influence, your relationships can get you a lot further than your educational background. You have to have these relational systems in place. What are you doing to strengthen the relationships you already have? What are you doing? What type of intentionality goes behind assessing your existing relationships? Are you being intentional about that? What about new relationships? Do you have individuals that you can call to help you with certain things? Right? And understand that just because I'm in a relationship with someone doesn't mean that everything they do for me or everything I do for them is free. That's not necessarily the case. But do you have a strong enough relationship where even if you need to pay for a service, that you can at least get priority because of the relationship? It's so important on your road to success. Your systems for success, you gotta have, or you need to have, you don't have to do anything, but you need to have, if you're gonna be successful, you need to have relationships. Okay? There's some relationships that need a little more attention than others. You need to know that. When you scroll through your phone, are your relationships, even in your mind, have they been prioritized? Okay, look at your relationships. Are your relationships one-sided? Because the last thing you want is to be the name that pops up on somebody's phone and they have to consider whether or not they feel like dealing with you today. That's the last thing you want. So are your relationships one-sided? Have you considered that just because you put this particular thing into this relationship doesn't mean this is the relationship you'll get that back from? Maybe you give A to this relationship, but you receive C from this relationship, and this relationship over here is what gives you B. So there's so much to understand about this idea of having a relational system and a support system. Okay. Are you a part of someone else's support system? And if you are you supporting well? Many of us get frustrated because people aren't supporting us, but we don't do well at supporting. It's so important that we have these systems in place, y'all. These systems are key. And if you're going to be successful, I don't care how old you are. I don't care how young you are. I don't care how educated you are. I don't care how driven you are. I don't care listen, ask any successful person if these systems are important in their lives. Ask any successful person if these systems are important in their lives. If you don't believe me, if you don't want to take my word for it, that's fine. But go and ask any successful person how important these systems are to them. All right, y'all, we got to wrap up. I try to be done by 12:20 because I don't want it 12:15, 12:20 because I don't want to take your whole lunch break. We just want to do a little snippet, a little lunch lesson. So today we talked about relational slash support systems. Previously, we talked about work systems. We talked about personal development systems. We talked about accountability systems. And this coming Monday, we'll give you the weekend, but this coming Monday, we're going to be talking about financial systems. And so if this information has been good to you, the only thing that I ask of you, the only favor that I need, the only payment that I need is for you to like, for you to comment, and for you to share. That's the only thing I'm asking from you. Like, comment, share. If you're on YouTube, subscribe to the channel. Subscribe to the channel. Like, comment, subscribe, share, follow. If you're on Instagram, follow on Instagram. That's all I'm asking. That's all I'm asking. Some of y'all go to Amazon, y'all go to Kindle, y'all go to Books a Million, you go wherever, Barnes and Nobles, and you getting books that tell you exactly what I'm telling you on social media for free. The only thing I'm asking in return is that you like, comment, follow, share, subscribe, all that good stuff. All right. Now, if you want to reach out to me, if you want to work, we can work together, y'all. If you want help, you want perspective, you want some ideas on how to actually develop these systems, hit me up. Hit me in the comment section. Hit me in the inbox. If you got my number, shoot me a text. If you got my email address, send me an email. I don't care how you do it. My success is your success. I get joy out of seeing people do what they do. I get joy out of seeing people succeed. And what coach don't want to have a winning record? Right? What coach don't want to have a winning record? So I want to help you win, because when you win, I win. All right. So if you want any additional advice, any additional help, just maybe even a different train of thought, a different perspective, hit me up in whatever way you can. And we'll talk about how we can get, offline. We don't want to do that in front of everybody because we want to tailor the system for how you need it to be. So if you want to get with me, we'll help develop your systems for success. And I'm going to brag on you. I'm going to support you. And we're going to all grow and succeed together. This has been another lunch lesson with Coach Jay. I hope y'all having an amazing Friday. I hope you have an amazing weekend. And I hope you're building your systems, because I can't wait to hear your success story. Y'all be blessed.